We missed the pandemic. We are in now what's going to be called a double dip recession. So what that is, and America doesn't like to say the word recession because any president that has a recession under their name means you did something wrong.
That's right. It's an asterisk.
Yeah, but anytime you pump $8 trillion in the economy, this is inevitable. So that's why I say everybody needs to learn basic economics. So we teach it. Basic economics shows you market cycles. It has to go through this. So you miss it. So a double dip recession is when the economy's doing good, the economy falls, it looked like it's about to rebound, and then it falls again. Mm-hmm. It's a double dip recession. That's where we at right now. Well, what happened was pandemic, the economy was falling, but they put a lot of money in the market. What happens now is the Fed says, yo, we're not putting no more money in the market. Matter of fact, we need our money. So now the United States has to cash out. What happens is them raising inflation rates. Everything, eggs have soared 70% over the last year. That's not the only thing though. That affects the lower and middle class. But watch how deep it's about to get. So now the United States has what's called a debt ceiling crisis. Mm-hmm. So the United States is $31 trillion in the hole. We can look at that on usdebtclock.org. It'll shock you because what you'll see the numbers keep rolling, even if you look at it 2 o'clock in the morning. What happens now is America has to pay the interest on that loan. If they can't pay the interest, something gonna happen bad. Mm-hmm. They're gonna default on the loan. Mm-hmm. So this year they owe $80 billion. Watch this, y'all. Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare is 33% of the United States debt. What they're about to do right now, they're debating on
getting rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Because they need to save that money. Yo, the wealthy people of America is not on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid.
That's right.
Who that's going to affect?
That's right.
It's going to affect us. Mm-hmm. It's going to affect our moms. It's going to affect our aunties. It's going to affect our uncles. It's going to affect our next door neighbors. It's going to affect the people we love. So what happens in those type of situations? More houses be on sale. Mm-hmm. More people out of jobs. This is what happens. And if we don't never prepare for it, if we keep being scared, fear, finally exiting average reality, y'all. We got to get outside of that fear and stop saying, yo, I'm a financial predator. Not saying I'm predator on people, but I'm playing the market for what it's worth. Right? And so, again, it's happening again. It's in front of our face. The people, they scared because they like, yo, we ain't never seen it like this because they've never put $8 trillion in the market.
Yeah.
They've never done that before. So now they got to get the interest is at 6% now. They got to get it down to 2%. That's going to take 2 years. Yeah, that means we're going to be in this for a while.
Yeah, they got between July and September to raise the debt ceiling.
That's it.
Yep.
And that's the 80 billion. In 10 years, they got to come up with 800 billion. Watch how they don't care about you though. They just gave, and I'm not against helping other countries because I know in order to be successful.
It's $1 billion, $1 trillion.
So it's 31 trillion, okay. But it's 800 billion they got to give up just to pay on the interest. That's just the interest.
Gotcha.
I'm all for helping other countries because I understand about alliances. So we sent $78 billion to Ukraine over the last year. Okay, that's cool. But you know you got to pay this $80 billion so you don't go in default. But also $10 billion to help hunger and homelessness in America.
Crazy.
$10 billion. So if they print money for what they want print money for, it lets you know that you are not a priority.
That's right.
So here's the game changer. If you want somebody to tell you who you are and how they gonna handle you, you gotta adjust.
That's right.
Okay, what's the adjustment? Okay, I know I'm not a priority in their eyes. I know they're not gonna teach me. I know they're not gonna take care of me. Man, let me teach myself. Let me get educated. Let me become the asset. Let me go get the information. I know my 9 to 5 is only paying the bills. I gotta learn another skill set. I got to do something different. I got to go to the Envy Real Estate thing. I got to go listen to Trap and Tuesdays. I got to listen to what Charlamagne talking about mental health. I got to get these things because I got to be equipped for what's ahead, man.
Question that you talk about default. So let's say America defaults on a loan. What happens?
Oh, man.
Nothing good.
So America defaults on a loan. Bro, America defaults on a loan. They can't borrow no more money. America is 100%.
And where are we borrowing the majority of the money?
Oh, that's good, Envy. So what happens is the Fed, which is the Federal Reserve, and the United States government are two separate entities. Go read a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island, right? They're two separate entities. The people who came up with the Federal Reserve, the six families, the J.P. Morgan, the Citibanks, they actually get dividends from every profit that America makes. Let me just put that out there. All right, so what the Federal Reserve does is America goes to the Federal Reserve and said, you know, we need some money. So the Federal Reserve buys bonds, treasuries from America. So when the Federal Reserve buys treasuries from America, it instantly gives America money, right? So if I come to Envy, yo, like I want to build this bridge, but I don't have the cash. I'll say, I'll give you some bonds. I got some bonds for sale. You like, all right, Trap, how much the bonds are? I say, well, listen, I need $100,000, so I got 10 bonds at $10,000. And on those $10,000, I'll give you 10% a year, right? So just walk with me. Envy, you buy 10, 5. Charlamagne, you buy 5. So you give me 50,000, you give me 50,000.
Right.
Y'all gave me the cash. I gave y'all the bond, which is a paper, right? I'm gonna take the 100,000 to go do whatever I feel like I gotta do. Now every year I'm gonna give you 10% on what you gave me.
50,000.
So every year, let's say I got 3-year maturation phase on it. So in 3 years it's gonna mature. So every year, Envy, I'm gonna give you 5,000. Every year, Charlamagne, I'm gonna give you 5,000. But then at the end of the 3 years, I'm gonna give you the 50,000 back. That's what America. That's how they borrow money.
Right.
So they just doing it on a big scale. The Fed was buying $120 billion worth of bonds a month. So that's money they just pulling into America. Well, what happens is when they stop that, you stop pumping money into America. When you stop pumping the money into America and say, yo, it's time for you to pay up, America got to scramble now to figure out how they going to get that money. So if you can't get that money to pay that debt off, what happens is the citizens feel it.
So is that where they say, you know what? We're going to start taxing people
That's
who
it.
make over
$200,000,
60%.
Well, I don't think that'll happen first. I think the immediate reaction will be
Cut something.
millions of jobs lost.
Cut something.
It'll probably be like from what I read, it would be like 1 million jobs lost, and it could lead up to like 7 million jobs
Listen,
lost.
cut something.
Then the country goes into recession,
Cut something.
and now we back in 08 again.
Now, cut something. So think about this. So right now, when you watch the news, what do you see? You see every company but Apple has cut jobs by the thousands. Apple's the only company that hasn't cut jobs. The first thing, and this even with people, as you're your own business, the first thing that a business does when it needs to save money, cut jobs.
That's right.
Before we start switching technology, yo, you gotta go.
That's right.
They gonna know what it is to get that. It's all about bottom line. How do we get the bottom line right? Cutting jobs is it. Well, that's an expense. So same thing with America. Again, understanding that Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare equals 33% of the debt. What's the first thing we gonna do after we cut jobs? We gotta cut that. We gotta cut that. We gotta cut that so we don't go in default. Right? Default happens. Now it gets even worse. It's times 10. Now things that you thought were was a necessity now becomes like life changing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
The basics.
The basics. It be like, think about if your light bill. So I just read something in Las Vegas because there was the federal government. The chairman was doing an interview in Las Vegas. Rent had the average person now just to pay average rent now feels like they need to work about 75 hours in a week. You know what a 75-hour work week looks like, yo? I did it. When I was working stadiums, I was working 80 hours a week. That is depressing. I was working 7/12s, yo. It was killing me. Just imagine you working 7/12 just to pay the rent.
You said 70 hours?
They got a 75. I was doing 7/12.
That's 10 hours a day for 7 days a week.
7 days a week,
yeah.
I was doing that. I was doing 7/12s when I was building a Falcon Stadium. It wore me out. I ain't had time to do nothing but sleep. But I was getting a $3,000 check, and I thought I was winning. But here I am just now. Just woke up, coming to Breakfast Club. We did.
That's right.
You feel what I'm saying? That's the power of that. But just imagine having to work 70 hours just to pay the rent. We ain't talking about the call note. We ain't talking about the light bill. We talking about just to keep the roof over your head.
And that's if you got a job.
That's if you got a job.
They're going to cut millions and millions of jobs.
So now crime goes up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right? Now crime goes up.
Yes, sir.
Like, and this what we facing.
Yes, sir.
And if you don't know how to do nothing but work for your money, you have already put yourself right back
right.
behind the 8 ball.
And man, it's so interesting, man, because trap messaging is so pure, and this is why I get mad at Democrats quite often, because they're not even able to communicate something like that so simply.